Okay, so same thing. You're gonna go ahead and actually lift now until he sits. Just light, steady pressure. Good boy. Good. And then use the leash, make him get back into that heel position. Yeah, leash pressure, leash pressure. And you can step back with your left leg to help him too if he needs to. Yeah, there you go. So just a minute ago, we talked about not going to the dog and bringing the dog to you. So it helps if we make the mistake greater. Yep, bring him over. There you go. Good, feed. Ooh, where's it coming from? We're just going to reward a few times and help him understand the delivery system. Good. Good boy. And then tell him, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. And when you say okay, I want you to pat your leg or help him to move out, okay? So that way when he hears that word, okay, that we're going to say, okay, now you can move, now you can be a free dog. And that way we can practice getting you dialed in again. So if we want him to come into heel, we don't want you to put yourself into heel because that doesn't really help him understand how to get there, right? And at some point in time, you're going to have other shit going on and you're going to need this dog out to figure out how to find your leg. So it's helpful if the, go ahead, reward. It's helpful if the dog gets, when the dog gets confused, if we make the mistake bigger. So that way we're not just asking for 6 inches of movement. The dog can see, oh, I'm really far away from you. I need to get closer.
That's how the step back can
Exactly.
yeah.
Yep.
I'm remembering doing this with Buddy now.
Yeah, there you go. Good. So every time he starts to look in your direction, we're just going to start to reward that more and more. Oh, good. Good. Did he get that or did he just drop it? Don't let him. No, tight leash. Good. Okay, you're going to walk forward a couple of steps and then you're going to stop. And then when you stop, we'll ask for that sit again. Good. Go ahead and stop there. So leash up. Oops. Keep the leash up. Just keep it up. And then once the butt goes down, then the leash goes down. Up. There. And being a pitty boo, they are okay with a tight leash. They'll wait on these things all day long. So he needs to start to understand that when he feels leash pressure, that it actually means to change his behavior. And then once that behavior changes, it's actually worth his while because he may not find this uncomfortable, but when he, good, leash down. When he gets the release of pressure, also he gets the food reward, which he does value. Good. So I'm going to lift. No, keep it up until the butt is down. So next time he puts his butt down, we'll click, reward, and then I want you to shorten your leash. So that way we don't have to have the elbow bent. And if it's just, we'll see when the leash is shorter, actually. Yep, maintain up. See if you can increase pressure. There you go. Release. Good boy. I was slow on my click. I was thinking loose leash. Good boy. Feet again. Good. So now that the leash is, there you go. So now we still have a bend in the leash, but if you go to tighten the leash, you'll be doing more of a curl and you shouldn't have to get more than 90 degrees in that elbow. Good. Okay, well now we're going to go ahead and walk him out here and you'll stop him on this rubber mat. Good, and then stop and sit. There you go. Good job stepping back. Oh, help him turn around. There you go. Leash up. And if he waits there for too long and you are afraid that your arm will fatigue, we want to increase the pressure. So that way, good boy. So that way, nope, again. He's resting against the pressure for a shorter amount of time. Good, increase. Good boy. Okay, walk forward, stop and sit. Good right there. Lift up. And now that he's just kind of okay with that, oh, he's thinking. That's okay. It's okay. Release. Good. He's in the wrong spot, but he's gotten the sit, right? And because he doesn't really understand any of this, we can't say, no, you have to stay here and sit. We can just get one thing at a time. And now help him back into that heel position. Good boy. So while he's still, and leash up, increase. We're going to start increasing faster and faster now. Good, loose, good job. So I want you to loose before you reward. We don't want to give food reward on a tight leash.
Am I rewarding first?
Loose leash, then reward.
Okay, yes.
Yep, for sure. As long as that hand drops before the cookie comes.
I wasn't sure if I was doing it wrong.
No, you're right now, before I mentioned that, you were starting to get upside down, where you were starting to have the food at his face before the leash was loose. So now we're going to start increasing pressure quicker. So we'll show the resistance of the leash. He's going to say, okay, yeah, whatever. And then we're going to start to increase, saying, no, it actually will get uncomfortable. So we want to make sure that you respond to this leash right away. Good. And then go ahead and come forward. And as soon as he starts to get ahead of you, just stop and sit. Good boy. There you go. And then good, good. Click. Good. So if he comes out of position, that's not such a big deal right now because he doesn't know where the hell he's supposed to be anyway. Okay, so lift. Good boy. And give him a few. One kibble at a time at this point might not be enough. Give him like 3 or 4. Oh, up. Good. Once he understands the game, we can make it smaller because he's like, oh, okay, I'm working for this reward. But right now we want to give him enough reward where he's like, oh, yeah, it's really fantastic to get that, right? Yeah, buddy. So go ahead and get the sit one more time. Good. Good. A little faster. That release was a little sticky. Okay. So now I want you to tell him, okay, pat your, oh, that's okay. Get the sit. Good. Much better on the release that time. Now reward him again. Good. Now tell him, okay, pat your leg and let him be free. Okay, good boy. And now all you're going to do is you're going to give him all of this leash. And we'll kind of go around. We could even follow him around a little bit. Let him do his dog thing. The only rules are he cannot pull you, right? So if he starts to pull you on the leash, you will increase pressure and move away until he starts to give to that pressure, then immediate release. And if you can present the food and he wants to come to you to take it, excellent. They don't always know that that's a thing in the beginning, so we can present and show, but don't be, offended if he doesn't come and take it. He'll start to see the picture over a couple of reps. The other thing that's not allowed is jumping. So he's not allowed to jump on you or anyone else. Or mouthing. So those are our 3 golden rules. Keep your mouth off of me, don't drag me on the leash, and don't jump on me or others. Good boy. So remember, when we're asking all of these new things of him, it takes a lot of brain power. And he's still in a new environment. He doesn't know where the hell he is, what the hell's going on, and there's a lot to process. So if we start demanding that he gives you 100% of his focus, that's going to be mentally exhausting. So now that he's kind of inquisitive, he's sniffing the ground, we've let him do this for a couple of minutes. Now you can start to move away from him. As you move away from him, before he runs out of leash, you're going to start to pop, pop, pop on that leash. So it's going to get his attention a little better than a steady pull. And if he responds to that leash and he gives to that pressure, those little pops, you're going to give him feedback. Hey, good job, buddy. And try to get his attention to look to you to see that you are offering a reward while moving away from him. Oh, there's some slobber. Excellent. So remember, before he runs out of room, start moving away. Pop, pop, pop. Good boy. Oh, you want to check his ear? So we've got the Star Mark training collar on him right now. Let's see if he got something in there. His left ear. Okay. We have the Star Mark on him right now. I'm not sure if we're going to use it or not. Probably at some point. Most pitties are going to need something more than just a slip lead. But I want to make sure that he understands the whole concept of giving the pressure and seeing how sensitive he is. Very good delivery. And seeing how sensitive he is before we start upping the ante. He's not really familiar with leashes and collars at this point. Keep it up, keep it up. Good boy. So when you say good boy, try to make your voice a little bit longer and moving away from him. Okay? So you're taking one step now, but maybe take up to 3 or 4. Just enough that he's actually putting forth. There, better, good. And then reward again, reward again. Good. So if he comes to you and he stays with you, keep rewarding. Reward a few times and then get out of there. See if he follows you. If he follows you, more reward. Good job. So you're not saying that you can't leave me and become disinterested, right? But you're saying, hey, it's a lot of fun to be here with me. And I can be really interesting. There you go. Turn, move. Pop, pop, pop. Good boy. Good. And now just go ahead and pet him a little bit after your next reward. Good. And pet him. Oh, you're a good boy. Good boy. And then walk away from him. So when we're petting the dog, we want to stop the petting before the dog stops the petting. Does that make sense? Yeah. We want to end it first, because if we continue to pet the dog and then the dog is like, okay, I've had enough, and they walk away, we're decreasing the value of our petting. So we always kind of want to leave them wanting just a little bit more. So that way the petting is valuable. Good boy. Okay, now go. Oh, super job, buddy. Okay, now go ahead and guide him into the heel. No, don't put yourself into heel. Remember, he's got to learn how to find that position for you or for himself. Good. Good. And then take a step back. Help him, guide him back a little bit more. There you go. All the way back. Come on, buddy. There you go. Now step forward. Good. Now reward. Okay. And now he's out. Excellent. Step back and show him how to get there again. Good. Right there. Stop him. Good. Up. Super boy. And right now, if he's moving his rear end and he's kind of coming out of that a little bit when you get the sit, right now we're not worried about it. Just come right here. Let's try to get the sit. Awesome. And once he starts to understand that, then we'll make the criteria just a little bit more precise.
Yeah. He's on my left side. That's good.
Yep. He's on your left side. He's finding his sit after the leash pressure. That is good. Good boy. A little sticky on the leash pressure that time. I want a faster release. Good. And if he stays here this time, good. Be ready to reward again. Right, that reward. Good. Good. Again.
Good.
And then tell him, okay. Okay. Good. And if he wants to stay on your left side, that's fantastic. You can stop and ask for another sit. Good. Very nice release that time. Good. So we're just going to wash, rinse, repeat this for a few minutes and see how that goes, okay?
Should I be saying okay every time to release him?
Yes. You don't want him to break the sit without you saying to break the sit. He doesn't even understand what sit is right now, at least here. I have no idea what he knows previously, but I don't know if she's done that with him or not. I think for the food. So he might have a concept of what sit is. But right now, we're not even saying sit because the leash pressure is not creating the sit that we desire at this point in time. Once we get the sit that we like, then we'll start to name it. But at this point, we want him to understand that once we ask, no matter how we ask, for that butt to touch the ground, we want that butt to stay on the ground until we tell him to leave. Okay? Check. Good boy. You go a little bit more movement away from him next time. Very good. 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 So we want to be careful on, good. Once they start to understand that the eye contact gets the click, they'll start to do this really brief, like flick up, good boy, flick up to your eyes, and that you don't want to reward.
Okay.
Good. So once he starts,
eye contact.
yeah, it goes to sustained eye contact really fast. Oh, yeah. Just wait. So he's already offered some good glances. There.
That was nice.
And then we wait for those again.
Okay.
And once we start to see that maybe it's a struggle, so we hang on a second, we'll get another one, and then you'll release him. Good. And now release. So once they start to offer the behavior, we want to make sure that we've had, 2 or 3 reps. That way they understand. Some dogs, it might be 15 reps, right? Some dogs, it's only 2. But you want it so that way all of a sudden they're like, oh, I know what button to push to make the click to get the food. And once you see the dog understand that, then we say, okay, that's great, but I want just a tiny little bit more. I'm not asking a lot more, just a tiny little bit more. And then we steadily build on that. But we don't want to increase the duration too much before the release. So the dog offers a little more, a little more. That was a very nice sit. A little more, and then we break, and then we start to ask again. So you can even bring him right back to the log so he can practice using his rear end again. That was really good for him. Yep, pep up. There, good boy. Yep. Oh, good. And remember, there you go. Good. Good. And now we get a little duration. And when he looks at you, you can say good boy even before the click. But just don't move your hand.
Good boy.
So that way he starts to see, oh, the good boy means keep doing what I'm doing.
All right.
Good.
And then we'll get one longer one, and then we'll release again. Good. Oh, make sure you praise when he looks. Good. But when he looks at you and you praise, good. When you praise, and then he looks to your hand, good boy.
I'm sorry.
You'll say good boy. He'll look to your hand because he'll say, oh, that means food, and you don't move your hand
right.
until you're able to say good boy, and he stays looking at you longer and click. Good. And you got a lot more duration that time. But stop saying good and cut yourself off as soon as his eyes look away. So it might sound like good. 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 And now release. That was a nice, very clear looking at you. Good duration. You were able to praise him. He wasn't trying to break his eye contact away. Very nice place to say, oh, that was awesome, buddy. Let's take a break. So then the next time that you go ahead and you try that, he's going to be like, I know what to do. Instead of reaching this place where he's like, I keep trying, but you keep asking more, and I'm just not sure how much more I have. Or getting to a place where he gets really confused. Once they show good clarity, move on to something else. Give him a break. Yeah, good. Off. Yep. So remember, when you use that leash pressure to get him into heel, as soon as he starts to follow it, you've got to release. It might only be releasing for a millisecond, but as soon as he goes with the pressure, release. Pressure on, off, on, off, on, off.
Okay.
Good job, buddy. Good. And when you're walking with him and he's walking next to you, if he puts his nose on the ground, just change your direction so that way you're not practicing walking next to him with his nose on the ground, because that's starting to condition what the heel picture will look like. And when we tell him to heel, we're not going to allow him to sniff next to us. So we want to try to keep those rules the same from the beginning, even though it's not quite yet formal. Good. Oh, no, get it. Turn and face him. There you go. And then leash pressure on, off, on. Oh, so that time when you gave a little more pressure, he didn't actually give to it before you released.
Okay.
Okay, make sure that he's going with the pressure. Go ahead, reward, turn and face him, and try it again. Good. Give. Give. Good. Okay, so I want you to toy with that a little bit. That'll be that lesson there, once you nail that, is invaluable for pretty much any animal that you're working with.